Feature Friday.
The freshest. Right, so this has been ridiculously requested. This is Siti Nurhaliza singing a medley called Lagu Cinta, and it's long. It's live. It's that's all I know. I don't know anything else. So.
Siti is from Malaysia.
That's right, but she sings a lot in Javanese because
Right.
apparently Javanese and the Malaysian language are actually pretty
Very
similar.
similar.
So it's not very far fetched to find Malaysian singers singing in Javanese and Indonesian singers singing in Malaysian.
So that would be pronounced Cinta then.
Cinta, yeah.
Oh, let's give it a watch then.
Lagu Cinta, I think that's what it is. Let's have a look. Hit me, friend.
Bloody hell, what an atmosphere.
Beautiful. God, what a swell. That's a gorgeous intro.
It's an intro of a movie or
I
something.
know it is. Incredibly cinematic. And she looks absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
Such a beautiful woman.
Yeah, dude.
God, look at that.
It's like stars in the back.
Goodness gracious.
Okay, here we go.
She is so into the performance. How old was she there?
Kira percintaan. Cinta.
Oh my God, turn up, girl.
It's angelic, dude. What the fuck?
I need to know how old she was when this happened.
Well,
Is there any information?
maybe in the comments someone will say.
Well, they're all in Javanese. Let me just quickly. Never mind.
Maybe-
I'm sure you'll guys you'll let me know.
Yeah, someone kindly please let us know in the comment section below. We do try and read everything, so.
This
go
is madness, though. Her vocal texture is absolutely
on. Very
gorgeous.
intrigued to see how this song progresses because it is
Me
quite a
too.
lengthy piece. So
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
that's right.
Absolutely stunning. Her technique is just perfectly spotless.
So clean.
God. Yeah. It's surreal, isn't it? Surreal. Gorgeous. Oh my God, her modulation is impeccable. Yeah, look
So-
at that.
Clean.
It's so really well thought through, so smart. Yeah, there's nothing done there by chance. And that explains it. Bravo! My God. influences there changed completely from that classical setting that she was coming from in the first piece. There is an absolute shift to this second piece where it's like it's higher in the twang, it's less rounded in the vowels. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like an Indian influenced way of singing rather than a a classical music singing from the Western world. It is an incredible shift, though.
It's very interesting how sort of the piece seamlessly evolved into.
Yeah.
But the transition of the chords was so seamless,
Mm-hmm.
and then sort of vocal, I guess, vocal execution also changed.
And you never realized.
Well, also, it's significant enough for to observe, but it was seamless enough to not cause any
disruption.
Exactly,
Yeah.
any sort of friction
That's
within
right.
the audience. It's a very well done piece. I wonder who composed it actually.
Actually, who composed the arrangement of the medley, because these are different
medley,
pieces
right. I see.
coming together. Yeah. Yeah, that's a more straight tone, no vibrato. You see, it's very clean.
Well, this is way cleaner than the previous one.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, the other one is like higher modulation, bigger rounded vowels.
More classical. Right?
Yeah. How wonderful. God, these songs are really nostalgic in the chord progression, aren't
So
they?
here comes another transition.
Well, this is a completely shift on the atmosphere. It's very popular, I guess. She's a beautiful performer.
She's wonderful. What the fuck?
Yeah. She really carries the pieces.
Hey, minor percussion.
Oh, wonderful. Come on, how charming is she? Oh my god.
Aku cinta padamu. Wonder what cinta means.
Oh my god, what a vibe. Beautiful.
She's very charming too. What the hell?
I could listen to her all day. Freaking fantabulous.
I'd love a Regine and Siti.
Absolutely, I see it. You are so correct. Yes, Mr. Sax. Woo! It's very 80s power ballad, isn't it?
It's so peculiar how we've
It's
sort of
very 80s.
seen, like, we've seen 3 shifts. We haven't seen 2, even though there's only been, I mean, she has sung 3 songs.
Yeah.
But in the first song, it was more classical. Second song, it was still classical. Then there's sort of that shift with I guess more Eastern sort of
Power
influence.
ballad type feel.
No, the second shift, which is like this Eastern influence
Oh,
sort of
yeah,
sound.
yeah.
Then it goes to third shift, which is this one, right?
I love the inclusion of those really cleverly done falsettos in the verse. So tastefully done.
But it's like jumping all over the place in terms of genres, right?
Yeah.
So it's a really interesting composed piece, and I'm very interested in seeing what the thought behind it was, and also the order of things, because that's also one of my questions when it comes to medleys. How did the composer see the connection in between songs in terms of transitions and value for the audience in order to for also be entertaining and recognize songs and stuff like that, but also in the sense of musical intricacies, and obviously here to bring, sort of from coming from more eastern influenced vocalizations to then more sort of
A
saxophone,
very Western,
driven music. It's like what that guy.
Yeah, I think the musical director that came up with this arrangement is truly somebody to admire, because he really saw the progression of vocally speaking. There's a very clear progression of things, and you can clearly pick the how easier it would be to go from classical to a bit more folkloric, and then go into mainstream power ballad vocals, because if it were the other way around, it would take a lot more energy, more I don't know, effort from the singer itself. So seeing it from that vocal perspective, which is the focus in this concert, that makes sense. That progression makes complete sense. Also, they're all in the same key. Yep. All three songs we've heard, they're all in the same key. Obviously, they could have been transposed to her key, but that's also a colliding point. Maybe a point of reference.
Well, certainly, probably the inspiration behind doing the whole medley. Right?
Most likely. Usually it's because all songs are in the same key or start in the same genre, stuff like that. Yeah. See, I love that. They're so hard to do. Yes, girl. Also, I see a Siti Nurhaliza, Celine Dion.
Yeah.
God, I love a good saxo solo.
Such a performer, look at that.
And it's subtle, it's classy.
It suits.
Delight of a performance. It is a delight. Woo! Wow!
Nice transition.
We brought it back to the beginning.
I don't know.
No, it's a different song, yeah. God, for her modulation. That's the main chorus in this performance. Is her vocal shift. You hear that?
Wow.
You're hearing a more soulful sound now? Jesus, she can do it all. Oh. Yeah, I would love to see a Regine Velasquez Siti Nurhaliza collab. Oh, that is just dreamy.
Yeah, that's what she is. She's dreamy.
Yeah. totally surreal. Oh, a clarinet. This guy does it all too. Freaking hell. That's mad.
You get those freaks every now and then.
Yeah. Oh my god, what a vibe. This is how every day should start. What a wonderful transition.
Oh, I'm a big fan of this woman.
What a great song. You're like swimming in clouds when you listen to her sing. It is so effortless.
Fuck, man.
Bravo.
It's a joke.
This is just unreal. Oh my goodness.
Pause. You know what's interesting is sometimes in like when you get this sort of like when you get this sort of like you know, shows or stuff, something that maybe not many people sort of speak about is this sort of, when you do compose something or you're a performer, you have to emphasize this sort of journey, especially on a medley of ups and downs and
Dynamics.
and yeah, they're essentially probably 50% of the show.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of credit gets given to her charm and her vocalization, her vocal intricacies, but the piece themselves and the musicians themselves. Something very cool happened there before, where the bassist was looking at the drummer, and now I understand why he was looking. It's like, you were going big, now it's time to bring it all in
That's
together
right.
again, and very tight and compact, so that you can let Citi shine again. Because there are moments that were sort of the arrangements, steal the show, right? Because it's like dun dun dun, and then fucking the saxophone.
Yeah,
comes
they're
in,
the highlights, musically speaking, of course.
and then you take all of them away, and then Citi comes in, and it's as if another instrument was now doing their solo. It's just her voice seems to be the instrument. But those type of dynamics, those are the ones that sometimes we try to emphasize. At least I always try to emphasize when we listen to music that is studio music, because in a live show, especially when there's orchestras involved or when there's big bands involved, this is a compulsory aspect of the show.
Absolutely.
But nowadays in music and this ever evolving industry of music with technology, alongside with technology, those type of dynamics are not lost, because dynamics exist. As soon as something is moving or it's not constant, there's gonna be as long as constant, sorry, there's gonna be dynamics. So, but the emphasis on dynamics in these pieces, I think are a huge highlight, at least for me, and I think for a lot of people, that the reason why you may like the piece so much, probably because of its dynamics.
I would like to also, now that you're talking about it, the musical intricacies in the medley itself are really well thought through. They really captivate. For whatever the section of the songs that they're picked, they really captivate its essence which is something that doesn't happen often in medleys. They tend to become a mumbo jumble of things, right? They become a brand new song, they become a brand new sound. But in this particular medley, each piece that we have heard has a very distinct peculiarity, a very distinct genre, a very distinct way of being sung, and it's being kept throughout the progression of the medley, and that takes a huge amount of concentration from the performers. So I mean, all the musicians, as well as Siti, that's carrying the piece itself. Well, she's the main focus, right? So she really dictates where the piece is gonna go with her delivery. But it's really important to emphasize how much work musically it's happening, and why it's such an exquisite level of performance, because it's not only her vocal expertise that, by the way, totally steals the show for me.
But she's the star of the thing.
Of course, she's the focus. But yeah, the musical intricacies and how the medley is being directed and arranged is absolutely genius.
Well, it's like saying, like, when there's a star in the sky, the night sky, but the sky isn't all dark.
That's
it's not going
right.
to shine as bright. This environment has been specifically made like that, and that's also made by other stars, because all those guys and musicians are stars themselves. I do want to say though, I think Siti's probably one of the most charming performers I think we've seen.
Indeed, I totally agree.
On the channel. Like, she's, obviously Regine is one of those individuals
that are effortless, but they help, like, I don't know, they connect with you in a way that, it's untangible.
Dimash is another one that's kind of like that, like naturally charming when he performs. Bit more theatrical, but charming nonetheless. I think Siti
it's
and
just
also
so relaxed.
I think also her looks help. Like, she just looks like a sweet person.
It does, yeah.
Go on.
And it kind of really translates into her performance too. Mama, for song, her. Yeah. God, what on the earth was that?
Nice.
What an arrangement to finish it off. It gave me James Bondish vibes.
I think she should. Yeah, there's a couple of people that want. Even though now Daniel Craig is no longer going to do it. And I don't think I don't know. I'm just such a big fan of the guy. I think he's the best. He's been the best James Bond. He's the most believable, at least.
Okay.
Yeah, but maybe in the future movies. It's still a huge privilege, right, to make a James Bond song. So I'd love, like, for her to do a track. I want so many people to do a track for James Bond, like the movie. I think she'd be perfect for her. I think she could be a Bond girl, to be fair.
To be absolutely fair, I totally agree. That last piece, it's like kind of rockish. It wasn't at the top of her range, but maintaining that suspense and that a constant note uh, throughout the chorus towards the climax of the song is actually so physically demanding, because even if it's not exerting a lot of energy from your larynx because of the positioning of the larynx, you have to actually put a lot of effort into it to maintain its dynamics,
Right.
because it naturally doesn't require as much energy from you, so so it kind of loses tension, and it becomes a bit draggy, or it becomes yeah, it loses its dynamics. But the way that she obviously delivered it has so much impact physically and vocally speaking. It is a very hard piece to close with.
It's a very good performance. Very, very astonishing performance. So perhaps let us know what else you'd like us to check out from Siti, and what you thought of it. It's truly an amazing performance.
Wonderful video.
Goodbye.